Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. This is your biology class, and this is me, Mera Mumtaz, your biology teacher. I hope you all are doing very good. Okay, we are going to start our fourth lesson from chapter number 1, that is human organ system. And today's focus of the topic will be spinal cord. But before moving on to our new topic, first we would like to have a recapitulation of our previous knowledge. So let's revise it with me. You all know that in our previous lesson we have discussed brain in detail. We have actually talked about the central nervous system, and central nervous system is composed of brain and spinal cord. So brain was discussed in detail. Let's have a recap. You all know that brain is a very sensitive and delicate organ, and that is actually enclosed for its protection inside a structure made up of bones known as skull or cranium. And you also know that it is made up of interneurons. This is the brain, and this brain is for its protection enclosed inside a bony structure known as cranium, and it is made up of interneurons. This is a flow sheet which is giving you a comprehensive idea, and this flow sheet was also included in our previous lesson. Brain, that is actually divided into three main parts: forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. Forebrain further divided into three parts: cerebrum, thalamus, and hypothalamus. Midbrain, the smallest one, and no further division. Then comes hindbrain. It is further divided into three parts: cerebellum, pons, and medulla oblongata. And then we have discussed them one by one. The main parts of the brain: forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. The same very figure giving you an idea about the location of all three portions. This one is the forebrain, this one is the midbrain, and this pinkish one is the hindbrain. Now, forebrain consisting of three important parts: the cerebrum, thalamus, and hypothalamus. Cerebrum, we have talked about it, that it is largest and topmost portion. Then comes the thalamus present below cerebrum, and then comes hypothalamus present below the thalamus. And this is actually the forebrain having all three parts. Okay, then there was midbrain, the small part as compared to the rest of two parts of brain, and location wise it is actually located below cerebrum. This is the diagram which is giving you its location, that is midbrain present below cerebrum. Okay, the third one, hindbrain. Hindbrain further consists of three main parts: cerebellum, pons, and medulla oblongata. This whole portion was actually the hindbrain having three parts. This one is pons. Okay, this one, the long tubular structure, was medulla oblongata, and this leaf-like structure present behind pons and medulla oblongata is actually the cerebellum. Okay, my dear students, up till now you have discussed brain, and we have recapitulated as well. Now we are going to start our today's topic, that is spinal cord. Spinal cord, this slide is added just to give you an idea about the location of the spinal cord. This is the spinal cord starting just after the brain and moving towards the lower portion of the brain, lower portion of our body. This structure, the yellowish one, is actually the spinal cord. Okay, what actually spinal cord is? Spinal cord is an extension of medulla oblongata. Why we call spinal cord as an extension of medulla oblongata? Let me give you the reason. This is the brain, consider, and this is the last portion of the brain, the tubular like structure, that is medulla oblongata. Once the medulla oblongata ends, just next after to a medulla oblongata, a tubular structure starts, that is known as spinal cord. That's why we call spinal cord is actually an extension of medulla oblongata. Okay, it runs backwards inside the backbone up to its lower end. What does that mean? Betty, you all have an idea about the backbone. Okay, the structure present, the bone present at the back of our body, that is running back to our middle portion of the lower body. Now this portion, starting just after the brain ends, starting from the head and neck region and moving to the half of your lower portion. This is actually the backbone. The backbone is actually the structure made up of bones, which we call as vertebral column or backbone. Just as cranium or skull was protecting our brain, in the same manner, for the protection of spinal cord, a bony structure is present naturally, and that is known as backbone or a vertebral column. Inside this backbone or vertebral column, this structure is present that is known as spinal cord. So again, it runs backwards inside the backbone. Inside the backbone, you need to clear this concept that spinal cord is actually the structure which is present inside the backbone, and backbone or vertebral column is actually the structure which is protecting our spinal cord. Now you people should have a clear idea, a clear distinction between the two. One is the spinal cord and the other one is backbone or vertebral column. Backbone or vertebral column is the bony structure made up of bones present for its protection, whereas spinal cord is the structure, sensitive structure present inside the backbone, and this spinal cord is actually made up of interneurons. So functions of spinal cord, we have discussed the structure of the spinal cord. Now we'll talk about the function of spinal cord. Spinal cord performs two main functions. Number one, spinal cord actually creates a link between brain and different body parts. How spinal cord is creating a link between brain and different body parts? This figure is here to make this concept clear, that how spinal cord is actually forming a link or acting a link or connection between the brain and the spinal cord. My dear students, you can see this is actually the brain present inside the head, where brain or the last portion of the brain, medulla oblongata, ends, and this yellowish structure is representing the spinal cord, and this spinal cord is actually running to the half of the lower portion of the body. Now this is the spinal cord. On one side brain is located and different body parts on the other side. This is arm. Okay, these are the lower portion of our body, legs, and further different lower portions. Now between the brain and between the arm, you can say, and between the brain and legs and different body parts, there is only one connection, there is only one structure that is actually communicating between the brain and rest body parts. That's why we call spinal cord actually acts as a link or a connection between the brain and the different body parts. How it actually takes messages from the brain and transmit those messages to other body parts. Brain is not directly connected with our different body parts, but it is directly connected with the spinal cord. So spinal cord takes the messages from the brain and provide those messages to the rest of the body parts. That's why we say that spinal cord acts as a link or acts as a connection between the brain and different body parts. Okay, one thing. Second thing, again I'm going to clear this yellowish portion is actually the spinal cord, whereas around it the bluish portion, the thick one, this is actually the backbone. So my dear students, you should all have a very clear concept about the spinal cord and backbone or vertebral column. The yellowish inner structure made up of interneurons, the sensitive and delicate structure, that is actually the spinal cord, whereas the structure made up of the bones, where my cursor is moving, the yellowish one, that is actually the structure present there to protect the spinal cord, and we call it as a backbone and or vertebral column. Now my dear students, you will all have, I hope so, you will all have a very good clear distinction between the spinal cord and backbone. These two are not the same thing. Spinal cord is the structure present inside the backbone, and backbone and spinal cord is actually made up of interneurons, whereas backbone or vertebral column is the bony structure which is made up of bones and present there just to protect the spinal cord. Okay, now coming towards the second function of the spinal cord, the second main function of the spinal cord is it controls some reflex actions. Reflex actions are those actions which are involuntary and occur very immediately. Now what are involuntary actions? Involuntary actions are those actions which are not under our conscious control, those actions which we do not take after thinking, reasoning, or judgment. These are very quick, immediate actions, and brain is not involved in these actions. Actually those actions are actually under control of spinal cord. So reflex actions or involuntary actions, the actions which are not under conscious control of brain, which occur very rapidly and quickly, these are actually controlled by spinal cord. In addition to these involuntary actions controlled by the spinal cord also involved in controlling certain other functions like breathing and heartbeat. Students, you must have recalled, I have told you that breathing and heartbeat were actually the functions of the hindbrain. Okay, so these heartbeat and breathing are those functions which never stop. Even our body goes to rest, these actions never stop. These actions continue. So when the brain is actually resting, these actions are still being continued. That's why I have told you the part of the brain which is actually controlling breathing and heartbeat never sleeps. So spinal cord also assists that part of the brain to control or to run smoothly those actions like breathing and heartbeat. So the second function of the spinal cord is it controls some reflex actions or involuntary actions which I have already described. These are those actions which are not under our conscious control, which occur very immediately and rapidly, and spinal cord actually manages those actions. And in addition to these, spinal cord is also involved in controlling breathing and heartbeat along with the specific part of the spinal cord. So my dear students, up till now you all will have a very good idea about the spinal cord, what spinal cord is and what are its these functions. Let me revise it. The extension of medulla oblongata is actually the spinal cord, and it is present inside the backbone, and it is made up of interneurons. Then the two main functions of the spinal cord: number one, it acts as a link between the between the brain and rest of the body parts, like this, because it is present between the brain and the different body parts, so it connects or links our brain with the different body parts. And the second function is it controls some reflex actions, involuntary and immediate actions, and assists the part of the brain in controlling other involuntary actions like breathing and heartbeat, because breathing and heartbeat are also those actions which are not under our conscious control 100%. 100%, these are not under our conscious control. So this was the end of today's topic. We have included less content in this topic because brain is actually a big lengthy topic. So I have given more time to you people so that you can memorize and understand brain, and then comes the spinal cord. And you don't need to worry about the involuntary or reflex actions, because in our next lessons we are going to discuss those actions in detail. But still I have mentioned so that you don't get confused that what kind of actions are those. So my dear students, I hope you all have understood today's topic, spinal cord. In next topics we'll discuss about the involuntary actions and further other topics. Thank you so much.